All right, today we take a look at the iPhone 12 versus the Pixel 5, which in my opinion, the Pixel 5 is the iPhone of Android. Why, you say? We'll get more into that in this review, but we're gonna go head to head in this slugfest. It's quite interesting because this year, Pixel chose the mid-tier, cost-efficient route, while the iPhone is still yet somewhat cost-efficient, but the iPhone that we all know. Let's get into this head-to-head review. All right, first off, let's talk about design. The Pixel 5 is a slimmer, more rounded design, while the iPhone 12 brings back the nostalgic, boxy design. Some will love and some will hate. Pixel 5 is rocking a rear fingerprint sensor, while the iPhone 12 uses the infamous Face ID for security and unlocks. Both have two cameras, a standard wide angle and an ultra wide, as well as, well, we'll get more into that later on in this review. The iPhone 12 is all glass with aluminum sides, while the Pixel 5 is an all aluminum body, which helps relieve some of the smartphone drop anxiety, if you know what I mean. Both designs are wireless charging capable for convenience, and both devices are built extremely well material-wise and comfort-wise. I'm honestly enjoying both greatly, but let's get into what separates the two and what also makes them similar. My name is CJ, and this is CJ Unplugged, where I like to use tech, abuse tech, but not in a bad way. I just put it through everyday user experience and report back to you so that you're able to make a more informed and confident tech purchase decision. First up, we're going to talk about display. Each device is equipped with a super sharp, beautiful OLED display in which the iPhone is still rocking the infamous notch, while the Pixel 5 is rocking a more modern hole punch cutout display. Like, it's a step closer to just being on screen. Also, the Pixel 5's display is capable of going up to 90 Hz refresh rate, while the iPhone 12 is capped out at 60 Hz. This isn't a deal breaker between the two in my personal opinion, but in the name of tech forwardness, the higher refresh rates are more well received in the tech community. In a nutshell, the higher the refresh rate, the better for overall performance and user experience, so the Pixel 5's display has a slight edge in this regard. Also, the Pixel 5's display has a more cooler tone with deeper contrast, while the iPhone's display, they produce a more warmer tone as usual. Both displays are almost equally bright, so seeing either display is about the same in direct sunlight. All in all, whether I'm on my iPhone or my Pixel, the viewing experience is just as good either way. But I will admit the speaker experience is better on the iPhone, and this could be due to the Pixel's top speaker being left under the display. I mean, the iPhone speaker does have a clear cutout in the display, whilst the Pixel's is buried under the display. Regardless, I found consuming media on both displays to be pleasant nevertheless. All right, next up on the list is battery life. When it comes to battery life, although the iPhone 12 is impressive, the Pixel 5 gets to shine in this category. The Pixel 5 has a great battery life and power management. Now, for ordinary tasks and typical use, you're getting through your day on both of these devices. But the more labor-intensive tasks like gaming and video streaming, maybe even video editing, will begin to tax the battery life tremendously, especially gaming. But this is typical on all smartphones. So battery life is always subjective to the user, period. But in most cases, the Pixel 5 will outlast the iPhone 12 in battery life, yet the iPhone 12 is still a solid battery life. All right, next up on the list, we're gonna talk about performance. Now, this is where the top tier mobile chip on the iPhone 12 in the A14 meets the upper mid-range on the Pixel 5 in the Snapdragon 765G. The Pixel 5 still performs great and gives you an experience that does not scream mid-range performance. It feels like a flagship. The only concern might be the longevity over time and performance, but at this point, it's fine. Now, the iPhone 12's groundbreaking A14 Bionic chip is hard for any smartphone on the market to compete with. Apple just refreshed their devices and their computer lineup with chips based off of the A14 architecture, so that speaks volumes. The longevity of Apple's chips, performance-wise, has a track record of being fast for years to come. Basically, the Pixel 5 performs well and will have 3 years of Google's updates, while the iPhone 12's performance is great, with a possibility of 4 to 5 years plus support from Apple. Pick your poison. Next up, I'm going to talk about OS. For those who don't know what OS is, we're talking about the operating system. the software that runs these devices. So the reason the Google Pixel device is the iPhone of Android is because it gives a similar experience and cleanliness on the Android platform. The Pixel launcher is by far my favorite software experience on any Android device, period. Also, with Google's direct-to-device software updates and security patches, you can rest assured that your device is up to date in real time and not delayed like many other Android devices. This is why this is the closest to the iOS experience you can get outside of an iPhone. And as a person whose software preference is iOS, macOS, iPadOS, etc., I can't help but enjoy the Pixel's offering as an Android device. With that being said, if you've ever used an iPhone, you understand what the iOS experience is like. And in this year's rendition of iOS 14, it's smoother, faster, and more improved than ever. And finally, the iPhone has been given widgets and an app drawer. I know Android has had this for years, but Apple has done it better. Seriously, go try it. Go check it out. It's actually, they had a long time to get it right? I didn't stutter, but I still love my Android options, even though I have my Pixel 5 looking just like an iPhone with iOS 14. Don't judge me. Don't hate me, Android lovers. But that's the beauty of Android. I can create almost whatever I want and customize my device to my exact taste. This is what Android users hold on to and fight for, and I totally get it. Either way you go, whether you choose iOS 14 or Android 11, both OS experiences are amazing. It's as simple as that. Now let's talk about the camera. Now I'm gonna get straight to the point. This is where the Pixel 5 stands out for pictures, period. I always find myself favoring the photos I get out of any Pixel device over any other smartphone available. Now mind you, we are talking photos. And video is a whole other story. But for the sake of photos, it's the Pixel 5 hands down. I don't know what magic Google puts into their photo processing, but it's by far the best. Now, I can't take away from the iPhone 12 because photos out of this smartphone are amazingly good. I just personally prefer the Pixel's photos. The iPhone tends to be on the warmer side, while the Pixel is cooler with a deeper contrast, and I like that. But when it comes to video, the iPhone is by far the best smartphone camera for video, period. If you want the best balance of photos and video, you go iPhone, end of discussion. But I will say that the video quality on the Pixel 5 has improved over previous models, and this makes the Pixel 5 a fair contender. So it really comes down to what you value most, photos or video or both. Now it's time for the conclusion. It all comes down to user experience. When reviewing any smartphone, how does this device perform over time? Through my day to day, this is where personal preference and personal needs play the biggest factor. Also, pricing and what you can afford. The Pixel 5 is priced amazingly at $649 with 8 gigabytes of RAM and a 128 gigabytes of storage, which isn't upgradable, but the price is a sweet midpoint. While the iPhone 12 comes in at $799 with carrier and $829 unlocked with an upgradable 64 gigabyte base storage option, it will cost you $50 more to match the Pixel's 128 gigabyte storage. So the iPhone is obviously more expensive, but it's also technically more advanced, higher tier chip, better speakers, etc. But the Pixel 5 also gives you a 90 Hz display and better battery. It's a slugfest of preference. Literally, you can pay less and get almost, if not just as good an experience with the Pixel 5, or you can pay more and get more, arguably, in the iPhone 12. So I'm gonna leave the decision up to you. Which phone do you think is better? Comment Y below and smash that like button. My name is CJ. This is CJ Unplugged. Peace.